Good morning, afternoon or evening, and welcome to another 0AD Live. This one we've got an 8-player game going on. It's on Mainland, which is as you might expect. And let's have a look. It's teams, I think, 4 teams, and I don't know if it was random civs or not. I didn't actually pay much attention, but it'll be pretty clear when we go on. If anyone's drawn Carthaginians or someone similarly rubbish on Mainland maps, then we'll know that it was the fact that this person here, Saeed Erds, was lucky because he got the Gauls. So let's have a look. Thankful Pi, that's a good one. I see you using the Ptolemies. No, he's got Persians. Okay, it's almost certainly going to be, what do you call it? Yeah, random civs then, because no one would pick those, and Thankful Pi always picks the Ptolemies or the Seleucids. So let's have a look. Who's on team 1? So Saeed Erds, unknown player, Aristotle, and HMS Surprise. Of those, HMS Surprise and Aristotle. Okay, so it's kind of this area versus the other. So it's south versus north with a slight twist around a few degrees to the right. So we've got Saeed Erds. He is on the thing. Someone's making it lag, and he's been kicked, so that's the end of that. So that's good. But anyway, Saeed Erds has got the Gauls. He's here. He's going to have to defend against the Gauls with Firm Landlord. We've got Britons here for unknown player. So Romans for Aristotle, and finally Gauls for HMS Surprise. That makes me think actually it maybe isn't random, because that's a particularly standard set of things to get. But maybe Thankful Pi is moving on to a new faction. He's got new ideas. Who knows? We'll find out soon enough. So Thankful Pi will be up against HMS Surprise. HMS Surprise is probably the weakest player here. Oh no, actually Ish is playing. But I don't mean that to be disparaging, because it's a collection of people that are very, very good. Yeah, these guys are fine. They're yellow, they're not going to cause any problems. Got Ptolemies here from Philip the Swaggerless. He hasn't got a rating here, but I think he's relatively good. And we've got the Iberians, and that is Ish. Okay, so let's have a look at Ish's population. Ish is, and HMS Surprise are doing particularly bad. Aristotle develops so slowly. I'm really surprised by that. He's got a fantastic rating, but every game I've seen him, he's been behind. I was even playing a game the other day, and he just, yeah, he was miles behind me, and I was able to attack his base. It was kind of a naval map, and I was very much on top of him, constantly invading, and he hadn't even got to phase 3 by the time I was dropping elephants to take down his civic centre. Well, I couldn't able to get his civic centre because actually he was Iberians. But this could be why he's doing this time. Why he's doing a slower development. He needs to get those cavalry out of there, but he took out a good 3 or 4 women, which is an excellent little raid. And you just have to look and go. Thankful Pi's down at 27, and that's going to hit his. He could actually have taken out a load of women that had just stood there doing nothing, and potentially he will do now. Yes, no, they've all gone back inside. Having said that, I mean, it's good harassment. He's got a few soldiers gathering food there. These guys are going to be taken out quickly. Should be able to get that cavalryman. He does. Slight delay on the thing, but that one's gone. But he's going to keep on harassing Thankful Pi. If he can just get round, he can actually stop Thankful Pi from gathering, and he would as well. Oh, look at all of these women here. This is just like 21 women that he could be taking out. And he's just leaving his cavalrymen kind of doing nothing. But you do have to weigh up how much benefit he's getting from that, because he's on the same population as Aristotle, but how's he developing? Not. He's got a woman who's doing nothing here. He's got a load of women there, only guarded by 1. This is the wrong way around. So these guys should be out here where they can defend themselves. The women should be in the civic centre. He's building his first farm, but he's now, he's taken out how many women? No, he didn't. I don't think he took any of them out. But he's going to get the last cavalryman.
Yeah, see?
These are spears. Okay, the women are in trouble now, but the spears may be able to kill off a horse or two. There's one left. He needs to take this guy back. Yeah, it's time to send that guy back. And if he's got any resources, yeah, he's got loads of food and wood. Build another load of horses and send the worst of these back to get healed, and the rest of them in to continue this attack. This is a strange option to go immediately for a cavalry stables. Not really sure why he's made that choice, but Thankful Pie is struggling for food. He's got some wood and he's got the stone and the metal that he started with. He spent some of it on this cavalry stables, which I find, as I said already, a strange choice. I don't know why you would start with that. Where are his things? So the cavalry stable, yeah, requires 200 stone, so that's why. Okay. Aristotle's now asking how many people he managed to kill, and the answer is some, but the answer is also that you've still got a lesser population than Thankful Pie, so it's not been a great success, not been a roaring success, that raid, albeit that you have now managed to in that time gather a load of resources, so time to start spending them, which he's not doing. Why are you not building? He's not training any troops, he's not building a barracks, he's not doing anything. Yeah, Aristotle, it's all very well crowing, but you're behind everyone else in development. You're not actually doing particularly well. And bearing in mind that HMS, actually you're quite fortunate, I think, because, oh no, HMS Surprise is on your team. Sorry, I thought he was on the other team, in which case HMS Surprise, you could have left the one in there that needs to heal. He's down to 33 health. You don't need all of them to be collecting. What you do need to be doing is training some troops. Train someone! Oh my god. Dear oh dear. Okay, so Servo, is he? He's not playing, is he? Too much vacation time, not always good. He's gathering troop. Oh, he hasn't got a house, that's the problem. This is, yeah, really, really poor from Aristotle. I don't know where he gets his rating from. He's obviously not a terrible player, but he's certainly not as good as his rating would imply when you compare him to other people. So how's the north and the south getting on? Let's have a look. So the south, thanks to Aristotle being so far behind everyone else, are basically behind purely due to him. Other than that, it's all relatively decent in terms of food. Team 2 is doing better. In terms of wood, Team 2 is doing better. In terms of stone, yeah, Team 2 are doing better. And in terms of metal, well, that would be Team 2 that are doing better. So really need to start getting some development. It's done well on the one hand. Like Aristotle has done well to help protect what's his name, HMS Surprise from an assault from Thankful Pie. This is interesting as well. This side is the side where your ally is. You don't need to protect that side to the same extent as you need to protect the other side. I would have liked to have seen the houses coming around here, because that's where your attack is going to be going from, or from here, not from here and behind. So yeah, it could do with doing that, and also, unless I assume the berries were there, so that doesn't give you such a great opportunity. But there are a load here of deer. Build another farmstead, build it around this point, closer for the thing, then it also builds your fields further out to the back, so they're less likely to be attacked. So that's all that, right? Have we got, no, this is a farmstead, house. He's queuing up cavalry, and these are still, it's quite a long distance. Could do building in. You got the wood, and I think he does. Let's have a look. Thankful Pie does have the wood. Build another farmstead here, and actually start expanding there. I'd like to see the barracks could be out here, because you've got such a large amount of wood. It would be great to be able to send people straight from there to the wood, and also it's good for his cavalry to get there. But I can see these cavalry coming in on HMS Surprise quite quickly. That's it. HMS Surprise has deliberately beefed up his army with him being on the border. It makes sense. And his women are looking fairly solid, although he's a little bit short of women. He's only got 22, where he should have 30. So has he got a load of women there?
Yeah, see?
Only one. Oh God, he's really been doing that. So it's interesting that he's actually managed to get as big an army as he has, because it's a really strong force. He could actually put a real big attack on Thankful by the two. A combination of Aristotle's early cavalry attack and HMS Surprise could have taken Thankful By out of this game. Everyone else is developing pretty much in peace, I have to say. So let's have a look at the other border. So as you might have just noticed, Saeed Erds, he again, I'm not sure if people don't know where the borders are. Maybe they didn't explain. Didn't do a particularly good job of explaining to each other where they were, but he's building towards his ally. I just need to check they are on the same team. That just seems bizarre. Yeah, so you would really want, or I mean, I suppose it's a different style, because I have seen it go the other way. But I would normally build my my barracks as close to the front line as possible, because I want to be able to support my armies as quickly as possible. So if you're having to support troops that are over here with a barracks that is over here, then they've got a long way to walk to get into the fight. And the reality is, there's no threat from here, so you're not going to need to be having your troops there. So Green, who is it Landlord? It is Landlord. He's done for much more what I... Oh no, he's also... I mean, I'm not so concerned. I think this barracks is relatively well placed because there was such a mass of wood there. You can see how far back he's gone into the wood already, so that wasn't in a terrible location. This one's in a good location, and he could do with maybe putting one here, around here, to access this wood, but neither side seems to want to contest for this. Well, it's only a small amount of stone, but as we've got side earths at phase 2, I'd really like to see a tower and maybe a barracks going up around this sort of area. So a tower kind of here, that would protect that, and also protect his barracks, which is here, and it would allow him to have a really strong potential attack on the opposition. He's just building a load of houses now, which is sensible. You know, why not build houses? You're going to need them. He's not housed, is he? He's very close to being housed, but now he is fortunately just not close to being housed. So he's got his... Yeah, I mean, this isn't an awful location for that. And it's built towards the centre, so I like the fact that it's allowing him to push towards this stuff. But is this Thankful Pie? Yes. He is sending his horses around, but not doing a lot, I think. Let's have a look from his perspective just for a second, and we'll see what he's seen of the map so far. Okay, not a lot. So he's up to 100 population, which is pretty good. He's now a good 23 short, 23 in advance of Aristotle, who's the guy that was messing with him earlier on. Aristotle's finally starting to develop, but I mean, he's finding that his allies are starting to encroach on his territory. This is much more what I'd expect to see. This is unknown player, very good player. Again, using barracks, they gain a lot of territory, and he's using these barracks to advance himself towards that stone. So he can see it, and in doing so, he's protecting it with a tower as well. This tower's in a good location. Oh, these are they're not really proper towers. He'll upgrade those when he gets the stone. Why is he not upgraded? I don't know why he's built them that way. He's at phase 2. He could have just built immediately. He has plenty of stone. I don't know why he's built these little sentry towers, unless that was a mistake. But he needs to get those upgraded, because these 2 towers here will cover the barracks, which stops them being taken over easily. The only thing I can think that he's doing is saving his stone to make all the slingers in the world. Britons have got to be the ultimate kind of... I don't even know how you describe it. They're like kind of basic civilization. They're just like a blunt force instrument. There's nothing particularly tactical or strategic about them. All you do is you build an inordinate amount of slingers and you send them off, and you just get a hero. I forget which hero it is, then you send your slingers off, you support them with rams, so this is going to be the market, and they're virtually unstoppable. You get the upgrades from the blacksmith, which he's going to get here shortly, and everyone wins. Well, not everyone. The only people that wins are the people that are playing as Britons. Britons or Gauls are virtually unstoppable, like, unless you're absolutely superb. If you're playing against either of them and someone just wants to do slinger spam against you, they can develop so quickly that they can get so many slingers so quickly. It's very difficult to get something that can stand against them. Slingers have decent attack and decent range. They also, I mean, they've got a longer range and a quicker attack repetition than skirmishers, which most people will be trying to counter them with. So it doesn't really work, which means that slingers can just overtake you. Okay, here are the Ptolemies. Let's have a look at these. These guys should be well out in front in terms of population, and they are. Philip the Spragless has got, he's only got a couple of barracks, but he's done pretty well. He's got a temple. Here's his tower, market. How many buildings has he got left? He's got one then outstanding. No, he's gone to phase 3. I don't know what his other one was, unless he built another tower. Are you attacked? No. He's at the city phase. I can't see what his additional building was, his 4th building. But whatever it was... Oh, there we are. Sorry, it was an armory or blacksmith just there. Here comes a temple. He will soon be launching an attack. He's got a good population. The max pop, I think, is 200 for each. It is indeed. So we're looking at him taking people out. I think we're not long away from the first major incursion. So let's have a look at the Orange. Orange have done a really good job here. We've got another armory. Sorry, another armory. Another barracks. You can see his aim is going to be spam slingers. Actually, I take that he's spamming skirmishers. So maybe he's saving the stone for something else. I don't know what exactly, because the only things that require stone for the Celtic civilizations are a fortress and slingers. But maybe that's because if we have a look at Orange, no, he's got enough stone now. Maybe he just wants to make sure that he has enough, having done his upgrade on his towers. Once he gets to phase 3, is he at phase 3? He's just going to phase 3. He wants to make sure he's got enough to build his fortress, which is fair enough. So, good for him. So here, one of the front lines, we've got starting to expand out. Yes, we have HMS Surprise. He's going to be pushing towards Thankfulpie, and Thankfulpie's hoping to make his expansion. Yeah, I think tactically, I'm not convinced by building everything, basically exposing your civic centre immediately to the opposition. I'd like to see houses around here. If the houses were around here and here, then for me that's better. I actually saw something really amazing from Valorant yesterday, where he basically, as the rams were approaching, because they were set to attack his civic centre, he just kept blocking the rams with the foundations of new buildings. So he would put the foundations of a building there, the ram would see the foundations and try and go around it rather than actually doing that. So I mean, it just made it clear how important it is to make sure there are as many things in the way between rams and your civic centre, and that is particularly true when you're playing against the Gauls. Okay, let's see. Thankfulpie is ready to make an assault now. What's he got here? It's only 12 people. Right, but I say only 12 people. What? These 4 catapults, 4 chariots. He's got another chariot or 2 here. Yeah, another couple of chariots. So he's just going to send his chariots and his cavalry to do something. I guess they just stood there at the moment. He's not set to go to phase 3. Still needs one more town class entity. He should be getting some more people building this. Get that tower up. I mean, at least he's starting to not fortify as such, but sort of cover the ground between him and whoever the blue player is. I forget. HMS Surprise. the cyan player, sorry. So we've got cyan on one border and blue on the other, and they're versus grey and green, so GR. Here we go. Now we can see he's moved towards that. This is where having those, having lots of barracks here, as Landlord does, he's put them to the front line, and that means that he's going to be able to attack. Now he is actually attacking the Gauls, but I think Saeed, although he's at phase 3, I don't see his fortress. His fortress is going up over here. Is this...
Yeah, see?
Yeah, it is. Okay, this is interesting code. Landlord very cleverly has sent a guy in. He's noticed that he hasn't yet built his fortress, in which case, right, it's time to attack. So let's, well, I'm just going to take a sip of my drink and we can sit back and enjoy just for a fraction of a second. Ah, that was nice. I've got a bit of a cold, so having a nice drink is helpful for keeping my throat lubricated. So his slingers are now going to attempt to stop him from building up this fortress. It looks like he's going to do that, but the volume of soldiers involved here is brutal. So if he's going to attack Saeed, what he needs is actually his rams. This is where the Rams Pathfinder can cause problems, and why it's a good idea to have lots of stuff around your civic centre. So this Ram, if it could just come on sort of knock down this first house here, it would be able to get to the civic centre, but for some reason he's determined, I mean not for some reason, he's determined to stop him getting the thing up. That makes sense, to stop him from getting the fortress. Once he does that, he's in a much stronger position. So this Ram's just got stuck by his own troops, which is always frustrating. And he's backing off, he's given up on that. He doesn't have sufficient soldiers to fight this off. Will he be able to knock down the fortress before it goes up? I don't know. It looks very much like... let's have a look at Saeed. Does Saeed actually have any... Saeed only has 6 people that can potentially take out a ram, so where are his reinforcements here? He's building some slingers. They're coming now 4 at a time from a large number of barracks. This is where having barracks right at the back isn't that helpful, so those troops that he's producing from the back are going to take far too long to get here to actually be able to be useful in the fight. Oh, this is so close. If he stops this going up, he probably wins. He's got 2 more rams coming. He needs to send them straight for the CC, because this ram is going to go, and this fortress is probably going to go up. So how long's he got? 8 seconds. It's been really good defensive, though. He was too slow to reinforce. And now are these coming from... And now Orange is having to come across and help, so it's pretty good. They've got a really pretty solid defence on that border. Let's have a look on this battle, which is coming on now. The Ptolemies, as I said, they were getting ready to attack, and indeed that is exactly what they're doing. We've got catapults coming in, and this border is trying to be supported by some yellow soldiers, but Philip the Swaggulous is just that's pretty brutal. I think we can see which way. Well, at this point it certainly looks like the game is going a certain way. Let's see how it actually ends up. But that's a pretty strong attack there. Again, are they able to do it? They just... This is to get these rams to stop being... he can start producing rams now, and he's producing his hero. What he needs is to get these to knock down the civic centre. And he's pulling his... Okay, that's just... His rams are actually going to get there, and he's pulling them back, so that's not helpful. What we've got here is Cyan is attempting to send some troops through. They're attacking and properly chasing the chariots. But while these catapults, he's done a good job of... he's captured a barracks here, which is smart work. And this hero is absolutely brilliant. This Ptolemies the Saviour, or Ptolemy the Saviour, or whatever his name is. If he can capture this, then things look very good. He hasn't made a real effort to do that. if you just... Okay, is this elephant going to come and actually... He's going for the storehouse. It's always... I mean, there must be something that developers can do that make things like elephants and rams like prioritise buildings that are actually worth destroying rather than sending them to just attack random buildings. He's had to now move him back. He's still not lost a lot of health, which is good. But he needs to take over this thing. So why is the elephant not helping to attack this temple? If he gets the temple, it is now going that way, which is good. But if he manages to capture the temple, then he's already got a barracks. He's got, again, the catapults. They're attacking a storehouse. It's why? I must at this point admit I'm not a game developer, and I think the game is absolutely fantastic. So I can't be sort of saying like, oh, it's just that simple. Obviously, it's not that simple. They would have done it, but it is frustrating in terms of the gameplay. But you just think, okay, is he going to knock it down, or is he going to capture? He needs to stop that elephant and those things before they knock down this. No, he's going to knock down the temple. It's gone. That is going to prove difficult. I mean, it's clear if we look actually at HMS price, he's down to like half population. I think he's bartering to desperately try and get some resources, but I think we might have seen the end of him. They've really, like Aristotle's trying to support, but I mean Aristotle still has tiny population. What's going on? And because of the fact that yellow is red is pretty much.
Yeah, Steve.
What are these red? No, they're orange. Oh, orange is trying to start a counterattack.
Yeah, Steve.
And who? I've got to check what civilization. He's the Iberians, so they've got rams as well. What is this collection of? So it's a real mishmash of soldiers, which is good. It's a combination of spearmen, skirmishers, and slingers, which will be very, very dangerous. They really need to take out blue. So, and in order to do that, they need to stop these orange rams. Just checking here again. This is just. Sorry, get your elephant to stop taking down buildings, which I mean that's at least useful. It stops them from defending quite so easily. But things like this fortress, this would be a useful thing to remove.
Yeah, Steve. Yeah, Steve.
They need to get to the civic centre, so if the catapults can get in there, then you can say goodbye to HMS Surprise, which is pretty decent for them. But let's have a look, because this appears to be going pretty well, and I think it looks like HMS Surprise is done. What's he doing? Is he... These guys here,
yeah, Steve.
It's a pretty decent force. Is he going to try some kind of counterattack, or is he going to try and defend? I mean, this little mini map down here, it just looks like someone's just basically gone with the paintbrush in an old Microsoft Paint thing and with purple and just splodged it all over the map. The way they're attacking, it's incredibly, it's really brutal attacks. Has he got any healers in there? He's not. He could do with just a couple of healers really to help heal some of these people up, or he could do it not having had destroyed the I forget what they were called. Not having destroyed the temple that he wanted, because then some of these people would be better off. But this civic centre, they're trying to rebuild it, but it's going to go down. They just need to take out some of these houses to give them a chance. And let's have a look back here, because that fight seems all but over. Here we've got... who's the better... Yeah, it's certainly the northern side. They're really starting to dominate. Orange is not managing to... So Orange not got a temple. Oh, he must have a temple fortress. Because, yeah, there's his other fortress. He did really well. He's unfortunately was thinking he was going to build towards the centre and be launching an attack. He's actually had to play a defensive game for his neighbour, which has caused him some problems. Where's this ram from?
Yeah, see?
It's an orange ram. He could... That's just... Oh, they're fixing it up. And then they could actually use that to if they sneak around the back to cause some issues. If he can get his thing up around the back here and then across here, then he's got an opportunity. Okay, we've got a hero, blue hero, and they're just, is it the slingers?
Yeah, Steve.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. When you're Britons or Gauls, you just get... Okay, we've got 100 slingers now because they've got some Iberian slingers as well. They are going to take down this temple in... Oh no, they're not, because 65 of them are building a temple. Okay, good idea, they need a temple. So that's fine, but they could actually have just taken down the other temple. Or not taken it down even, but actually just damaged it sufficiently that they could have taken it over. It would have not just given them a temple, but actually deprived their opposition of a temple. Let's have a look how this is going on. The civic centre's gone. They're now just knocking down some houses. I don't know if HMS Spider's got 8 people left. I think that could be the end for him very shortly. Where are his 8 people? He's got 1 in there, 2 in there, 1 in there, that's 4.
Yes,
and here are another 3, and there's 1 more somewhere else. So HMS Surprise is gone. He's not coming back from this. He doesn't have enough resources to build another civic centre, and the fact is that his civic centre is being taken over by Philip the Swaggerless anyway. So all of his buildings are going to come under the control of the Ptolemies there. Can they attack sufficient? There's plenty. Alright, they're going to have to try and take out this ram. Tell me he's got a ram in here. He has 2, so that ram's not going to get anywhere. That's going to be taken out. In fact, they're trying to take it down with slingers, which is possible, but actually it's more than possible. It's happened. Well, I suppose that's not more than possible. That just confirms that it's possible. But that's a good... yeah, and interesting. I've never even attempted to take out rams with slingers before because you need quite a lot of them. But clearly it can be done if you focus your people sufficiently. Now, what are these little fellas? There are some swordsmen and stuff, so they're playing a defensive role. They will counteract any rams. The good thing when you're playing against Gauls or Britons is you know that the only siege you're going to face is rams. You haven't got to prepare for a number of different eventualities. So having these swordsmen back there will allow them to hack down the rams. And he's, just I say that, he's, oh no, I thought he was going to move them away, and he did to begin with, but then he moved them back. Okay, so are they going to be able to knock down this temple this time? There's plenty of them, there's plenty of people. There is a hero in there who's a chap on a horse who's going to take out one of the rams. They could do with taking out this hero rather than actually focusing on the temple, although it is healing its soldiers as it goes, so it probably is worthwhile taking out. Have they got any more rams on the way? Yep, 2 more coming. So if this ram can now get to the fortress, blue is all out of wood. What's blue? Like Saeed's, he's got food. No, he has got some wood now. In fact, he's got loads of wood. He must have just spent a load on some troops. He's continuing to throw people into the battle, which is good, but Red is able to reinforce with impunity. He's not even got anyone attacking him because that flank has been completely wiped out. It's going to be a case of can Aristol here, who has actually developed himself quite nicely. This is where, weirdly, this setup that he's got with his houses actually works to the advantage of the person that took him over, because now the front line has a wall protecting them, which is houses. But he hasn't built his civic centre within, like, about here, so in not doing that, perhaps he's given himself a better chance. Right, what do we have here? They're backing off. If Orange is attacked, I think we could well see the end of this game very shortly, because Blue is relying on Orange to keep him going at this point. And so if Purple and Thankful Pie as well could do with, like, Thankful Pie has plenty of troops, plenty of resources. If he was able to get in and attack Orange, suddenly Orange needs to divert his resources from a position at the moment where he's able to use them to attack Green, to be in a place where he is not able to do that, and he is in fact simply having to defend himself, and that, it looks like it's exactly what is going to happen now. Here comes the Ptolemaic army. Let's just see this from Purple's perspective. Philip the Swaggerless. Okay, that's the first thing that he's seen. So these chariots are going to head in. That's a decent amount of chariots. He's sending Ish some wood. Orange is actually pushing into green territory quite badly. What's going to happen here? Where's Purple gone? Ah, Purple's decided that he'd rather take out yellow to begin with. So with green, so he has HMS Surprise has one troop left. Where is he? Where is this one person? He hasn't resigned. He's got one, but I don't even know. I don't know where that one person is, but he's basically gone. Although it would be decent and prudent of him to resign, because at least then his resources get distributed to his allies. At the moment, they're just doing nothing. Still very well trying to recover, but they need to... Ah, this is it. If they take out Aristotle's fortress, they're in a very strong position. Ish now. Okay, the temple is gone, and this is a large attack going on here. Are they able... They've got some rams. You just need to get these guys back into the fortress. Actually, if they can get back into the fortress, is this tower fully manned? No, get that tower fully manned as well. Get people back into the fortress, get the tower fully manned, and they will... These guys, there's not that many of them left now. They will just be taken out. And at the same time, yellow is Aristotle is really under attack. These guys, I mean, I'm going to look, what are their trade routes looking like? I don't know if there are any traders, in fact, on going. There don't appear to be any traders, so their trade routes are nothing. Okay, this has reached a ceasefire, kind of enforced. They all need to gather some resources and what do you call it? I don't even know. Not regroup. Reinforce their army. Maybe that's the right word. There's definitely a better word for it. But they need to do that. Anyway, let's have a look. Yeah, they should, with that load of people streaming across. I mean, what Red could do is build a CC, or Purple, or anyone actually, build a CC around here somewhere. There's lots of resources, and he doesn't have to have such a long way to reinforce. Red is completely safe. Like, there's no way that troops are going to go around him, and the fact that he's got these things. Oh, they do have trading going on. So, these are Purple traders. They are going to a market, I don't even know where. Yeah, they're not going to that one. Oh, is this the market? It is. So, what are those traders? Let's have a look. Where are they? Trader's carrying 54 wood. That's absolutely brilliant for him. Although I'm a bit confused by him having wood is one of the things that he wants. I would have thought he would be getting everything basically to metal, because there's so much wood on the map, and the main thing that Ptolemies need is metal. So that would be... In fact, we can have a look and see what his thing is. Philip the Swaggerless. He is getting only metal. Okay, so not quite sure why, or perhaps he's just it's just changed. But this temple fortress is going down. He hasn't built any siege, or not that I'm aware of. And once that, oh, you just look at. Will they be able to take out this ram? Yeah, they will. Red and green are pushing in. I mean, yeah, they're attempting to do this through brute force, through absolute brute force. There's nothing, about this that is like sophisticated. And wow, yeah, 64 chariots here. Yellow, which is Aristotle, is going to be gone soon. He is at least producing. He's so slow to develop. I don't know quite what to make of it. But there you go. Like I say, he's obviously not a terrible player. Like, he knows what he's doing, but it's strange that he seems to develop so much more slowly than I would expect. Okay, this looks like it could be the end for Saeed, Erds and Unknown Player. Unknown Player is doing brilliantly to keep himself. He's basically keeping his team in the game. But can these 3 Rams get to this fortress? And what they really need... Okay, Red is now able to head off the support from...
Yeah, see?
they're not... Orange has done exactly what he needs to do. This is very, very good play. Rather than attempt to bolster, then he is just going to walk his Rams right in and knock down the Civic Centre. And there is nothing there to protect them. This is where having... Yeah, these 3 Rams, and coupled with this cavalryman, this is the this is going to be bad news. But then the only thing... Has he got sword cavalry there? Yeah, he has. He's noticed, and the sword cavalry come out, so that could be the end of this attack. If they can knock out the hero, and the sword cavalry can take out the Rams, or sword cavalry and the Rams can take out the Rams, then that could be just, like, that could actually be fine. These guys, there's no point in these guys actually, no, maybe I take that back. There is a point in them coming back. They're going to make sure that this doesn't, or they're going to attempt to make sure this doesn't cause too many problems. I don't know whose Rams are what. They need to take out the hero because the hero is causing all manner of problems taking out the Rams. He's doing a great job. The Rams are not doing a great job. This, in terms of, like, get the women to rebuild, right? They need to be rebuilding the fortress. The CC is gone. That's the end of that. And that will hit this attack. So, absolutely superb play there from Unknown Player. He has basically, he's kept his team in the game with an absolutely superb counter-attack. So, yeah, hat off to him. That was brilliant. It looked counterintuitive because when you first saw it, you must be like, I think most people would be thinking like blue is about to die, but what it has meant is that, like, counterattack forced both green and red to try and defend, and now they're going to have to use their resources on repopulating, getting their economies back going, because their economies have been decimated by that. That said, this is about to be taken over. Aristol hasn't been particularly helpful here. He's what's his population down to? 26. So Aristol is about to be out. Saeed Erds is similarly struggling, and the Rams are coming through. Aristol's taken out some of his buildings that are about to be taken up. I think he's just destroying everything before he just gives up his scorched earth. I think he doesn't want to leave any of these buildings as something that can be used by his opponents. So yellow is going, and that means it's bad news for orange. So orange's army that he's sent has done well. HMS Surprise has finally gone. Green is just simply rebuilding his civic centre, and Aristol still has 17 people, but this is going to be the end very shortly, I think, for orange as well. And absolutely, orange has just said good game, which I think you could really say to him. He's been the sole success on that side. I think Philip the Swaggerless has played excellently. Whether he drew the Ptolemies randomly or got them, Ptolemies are OP, especially with Iberians. That's absolutely true, because the Iberians give you a skirmisher. They make your skirmishers 20% cheaper. So the fact that your skirmishers just become super cheap if you're playing as Ptolemies it made it virtually impossible. But so Saeed Erds is gone. Yellow is virtually gone. He's got 8 people left. They must be around here somewhere. No, there is. I don't know where his 8 people. There's the end for Aristotle and the end for Unknown Player. A very good victory for the team of the North. I think that was really, really well played. Anyway, as always, hope you enjoyed that. If you did, then hit like, hit subscribe, do all those sorts of kind things that you can do to help convince me to keep making the videos. And other than that, thank you very much, and I will see you soon.